What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Better Biomed. Folks, today was an interesting morning because I always get on the forums and I try to answer people's questions and stuff, especially if it's definitely a student and they just want some information to get them going. Who wouldn't want to chime in and help somebody out? Well, there was this young lady on a forum, I think on Facebook, and she said, I'm about to graduate from school, I've got some interviews. What would be some good questions for the interviews? Fantastic. Of course it's a girl that's going to ask a question like that, because she is going to be one of those that's going to be running a Biomed shop in like 10 years. Well, questions. Very smart. So I said the first question that you should probably ask is if they have a training budget. Because if they don't have a training budget, then you're already fighting an uphill battle against your peers, because your peers at other hospitals who have the equivalent amount of experience as you, if they're at a hospital that has a very large training budget, that means they're going to be sending people out to get improvements. And when you get improvements and trainings on your record, you are going to be a much better candidate 5 years down the road. All right, they're going to get Biomed 3 before you do. So I always suggest to people to go ahead and ask for the training budget. Just ask them, what is it? Do you have a good one? Do you have a good training plan? Because a lot of hospitals, if not most of them, do. Some of them have none whatsoever. And they're just shooting on like emergency funds every time they need to get somebody trained. And that is a horrible, horrible way to get started. So the other thing I said, ask them to see a copy of their medical equipment management plan. I honestly think anybody, and you know, given she is a trainee, but why not ask for the medical equipment management plan? It tells you everything about how that shop's supposed to be run, or it's supposed to give you a very, very strong idea of how the shop's supposed to be run. So somebody commented below me that says, why ask for the MEMP? Because then they're going to come off and seem like they're a know-it-all. I mean, they're definitely going to come off as a high-speed individual, because if you want to see the intricacies of how a program runs and how a hospital interfaces with Biomed, yeah, of course you're going to use the medical equipment management plan. But then he said, if I had a candidate that asked for the MEMP, then I would grill them on what they know about medical equipment management plans. That was a weird response for me. It was a weird response because it's not a dick measuring contest, okay? And if you're one of those managers, one of those supervisors that wants to be the top cock, you know, you want to be the rooster, then you're not a good manager. You're not. Because there are going to be people that work for you that are smarter than you. It's always going to happen. There are going to be people that are going to want your job. It's always going to happen. And I don't know about you, but I love working with people like that. I love working with people that are that high speed. I can tell them exactly what I want them to do, and they do their damnedest to try and outshine me. That is fantastic, because I got other things to worry about. All right, I got stuff that the people that work for me will never know I have to do. Day in and day out, the calls I have to take, the customers I have to satisfy, my workers will never know that kind of stuff until they have that situation where they have to deal with it. So guys, all I'm saying is that if somebody asks for a medical equipment management plan, that's your Bible for how the Biomed shop's supposed to run. If somebody asks for that, that should be public knowledge. It just should be. I don't understand why people feel like that should be reserved only for the upper echelons of the C-suite and medical equipment management, the managers. But it's not. In fact, I encourage people to teach about what's in the medical equipment management plan. Just go ahead and teach what's in it. Maybe, you know, you have training days, maybe a lunch and learn. You should open up the medical equipment management plan. Teach people about what an AEM program is. Show them that, you know, this is how we do things in this hospital. When you have contractors that come in and buy out a hospital per se, the first thing they should do is sit down with the staff and go over the differences in the medical equipment management plans between what it used to be and what it is currently. Do people do that? No, they don't do that. So then you got staff that's running around and they don't know what their real job is supposed to be. And that's crazy to me, because there are so many of you guys out there, so many biomeds that are so smart, and you're so motivated. You want my job? Come and get it. First off, I love competition. That's not a wrong thing. But secondly, come and get my job, because I got other things to do. If I can give some of my responsibilities to one of you, fantastic. That only makes things easier on me. There's too many people out there in this world that don't want any more responsibilities in life. Matter of fact, they want as few as possible. I love high-speed people. So, what do you guys think? Do you think if somebody's interviewing for your hospital and they ask for the medical equipment management plan, do you think that's a very rash thing for them to ask for? I don't, but I want to know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, guys.